When it comes to the girl bossification of our princesses, I'm willing to say what no one else will. What's next?
The amount of people who hate Rachel Zegler in a way that is like, it's your hobby.
There used to be a love story in this DVD case. Not anymore! Because the movies are all about the girl bosses.
Because, like, what has she done other than, like, I don't know, maybe said something that you thought was, like, kind of cringe? Being that she's the one that crashed Disney stock.
That's illegal around here. If you're not a girl boss girly, then you're a girl jailing girly.
Rachel Zegler has reportedly ignited a major controversy in the West End, sending shockwaves through the theatre community. According to multiple insiders close to the production, the rising star, already no stranger to bold headlines, has allegedly referred to the original Evita musical as white supremacist propaganda. The explosive comment has sparked a firestorm of debate among fans, critics, and industry professionals. Some have applauded Zegler for her outspoken views and willingness to challenge traditional narratives, while others have slammed the remarks as divisive and disrespectful to the legacy of the show. As the controversy swirls around the current revival, it has triggered intense conversations about artistic interpretation, historical context, and the increasing role of politics in the performing arts. With tensions high and opinions sharply divided, many wonder whether this moment will mark a turning point for the West End, and whether it will ever be quite the same again.
Never in this Tim Rice, Andrew Lloyd Webber revival, and it's a really fresh take on such an iconic character. I mean, having Latin American heritage yourself, what did it mean to you to there?
I mean, it's so wonderful to get to see ourselves represented in any form of entertainment. In musical theater, it's such a wonderful opportunity to get to tell a story about such an iconic historical figure that also happens to be of Latin heritage. And I've been very fortunate in my short career to have portrayed two iconic Latinas in musical theater with Maria in West Side Story and with Eva Perón. So thank you. Thank you. And so I'm just really, really excited to get to also find a way to represent my people in that regard.
Well, a question here from Tom. He says, there are so many big hits in the musical, which there are. Are you nervous about taking any of them on?
Nervous about all of them. Yeah. If you're not nervous, you're not doing things that are challenging you, and it's so wonderful to choose bravery in the face of that. But for me, it's Buenos Aires is one of those. It's just such a beast, and the way that our choreographer Fabian Alois is choreographed it. By the time you get to the end, it just feels like you've done a marathon, and it's so worth it. So all of them are so iconic, and so you just really want to do it justice, but also bring something new.
Evita, one of the West End's most iconic and celebrated musicals, created by legendary composers Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, is now at the center of a growing controversy, sparked by its lead actress. According to sources close to the production, Rachel Zegler has reportedly criticized the show for what she sees as its glorification of colonialism and its Eurocentric narrative. The critique goes beyond commentary. Insiders claim Zegler is actively pushing for significant changes to the script, including the removal of entire scenes, edits to key songs, and revisions to character arcs. Her reported goal is to reshape Evita into a more inclusive and intersectional work, one that speaks more directly to modern audiences and reflects contemporary values. As the creative tension builds behind the scenes, the production faces tough questions about artistic legacy, historical accountability, and the evolving expectations of theatergoers in the 21st century. Critics argue that Rachel Zegler is doing far more than simply performing in Evita. She's attempting to reshape the musical from within. The backlash has been swift and intense. Passionate West End theatergoers, admirers of Eva Perón's complex legacy, and even voices from Argentina have reportedly expressed strong disapproval. Zegler now faces accusations of cultural arrogance, historical revisionism, and exploiting a national icon for political messaging. Many observers see her proposed changes not as creative input, but as an attempt to commandeer the production. This goes beyond disrespect. It's an artistic ambush. One insider bluntly stated, as tensions escalate, the controversy threatens to overshadow the entire revival, raising questions about the balance between reinterpretation and preservation in modern theater. To some, Rachel Zegler's recent remarks about Evita may seem unexpected, but for those familiar with her career, they're part of a familiar pattern. Once hailed as one of Hollywood's brightest rising stars following her breakout performance, In West Side Story, Zegler has quickly evolved into a polarizing figure, known for her outspoken views and unfiltered critiques. She has consistently drawn both admiration and backlash, establishing herself as a lightning rod for controversy in the entertainment industry. That what began as a promising debut has since unfolded into a series of public disputes, each one adding new layers to her complex public image and pushing up against long-standing norms in Hollywood and the theater world alike. The turning point, one word: Snow White. What was meant to be a dream role for Rachel Zegler quickly spiraled into a public relations storm. In a series of interviews, Zegler sparked widespread backlash by openly criticizing the 1937 Disney classic, calling it weird, outdated, and even creepy. She dismissed the role of the prince, questioned the central romance, and hinted that the upcoming remake would dramatically depart from the original storyline, effectively stripping away the core of the beloved fairy tale. Her remarks didn't go unnoticed. Fans and traditionalists reacted swiftly, accusing her of disrespecting a cultural icon and using an iconic role as a vehicle for revisionist messaging. What was supposed to be a celebration of a timeless story instead became a flashpoint in the broader debate over how and whether classic tales should be reimagined for modern audiences. What began as widespread excitement over Rachel Zegler's casting in Snow White quickly gave way to intense backlash. Millions accused her of disrespecting Disney's legacy and pandering to a vocal minority intent on rewriting beloved stories. Her comments were seen by many as dismissive of a cherished classic, igniting frustration among lifelong fans. Rather than backing down, Zegler stood firm, framing the criticism as rooted in misogyny and resistance to her modern, feminist reinterpretation of the tale. But instead of calming the storm, her response only deepened the divide. What was once a highly anticipated reboot soon became a cultural flashpoint, a battleground over tradition, progress, and who gets to control the narrative of our most iconic stories. Rachel Zegler's involvement in Evita has ignited a cultural firestorm few could have foreseen. What began as an exciting and high-profile casting quickly unraveled into controversy when Zegler allegedly described the iconic musical as white supremacist propaganda. But Evita is more than just a stage production, it's a global cultural touchstone. Created by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, the musical tells the story of Eva Perón, Argentina's legendary First Lady, a figure seen by many as a symbol of power, feminism, and national pride. Zegler's sharp critique was therefore perceived by many not just as a critique of the show, but as an affront to an entire nation's cultural and historical identity. According to insiders, Zegler didn't stop at public criticism. Behind the scenes, she allegedly pushed for sweeping changes, cutting key songs, adding new scenes, and reshaping Eva's character into a revolutionary figure aligned with modern social justice ideals. This reportedly created mounting tension among cast and crew, with rehearsals turning contentious as producers and fellow performers struggled with what they saw as confrontational and ideologically driven demands. The backlash was swift and global. Fans, theater veterans, and particularly Argentinians voiced outrage, accusing Zegler of cultural arrogance, an American actor imposing her views on a deeply nuanced Latin American story. Critics labeled her approach as revisionist and disrespectful, claiming she was erasing history rather than honoring it. The controversy has also cast a shadow over Zegler's career. Industry sources suggest she's now viewed as a volatile presence, with some casting directors hesitant to take on the potential drama that may follow. What was once poised to be a defining moment in her career now risks becoming a cautionary tale. At its core, this dispute isn't just about Evita, it speaks to a larger, more urgent debate: who gets to tell which stories, and how cultural legacies should be interpreted in a modern world. Zegler may have intended to spark a meaningful dialogue, but instead, she's lit a wildfire, one that shows no signs of burning out.